Hello and welcome back to a New Pace podcast. I'm Leslie, your host. I'm an artist and art therapist, and today we have Charlie from Eclipse Candles here to talk about the products that are made and the types of inspiration and ideas that are behind all of that. So lovely to meet you, Charlie.
Hiya,
How are you?
nice to meet you.
So first of all, just checking in, like how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. How are you? It's very wet today, actually, to be fair. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the rain. It is pounding down.
I can't quite hear it, but I think that might be more to do with my laptop than the noise of the rain.
Than the rain.
Um, yeah, I have a little bit of a cold, so I am sort of if I start coughing while we're talking, you'll know why, sort of
Don't
thing.
panic.
But yeah, I mean it's we know what colds are.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
candles. When I think about sort of candles, I'm a big fan of candles, and like I bought one of your candles from your shop as well, from your Etsy shop, and I'm wanting to like that in a minute. Um, what is it about candles that you sort of like? What why candles?
Well, I've always burnt candles in my house, and my mum always has. It's something that I've been brought up around candles. And then it was actually, I was on TikTok one day and I saw someone pouring a candle, and you click on like the recommended, and then before you know it, you've been scrolling for 2 hours. And I just became fascinated. And actually, the first thing is I saw a candle like yours, which really
Yeah,
got me interested. And then before I even got to the sort of design and scent, it was actually learning about the soy wax, which is what I use, compared to the paraffin wax, which has been in candles that everyone buys really, and that I've bought all my life, and learning actually how bad they are for you, your house, your pets. So I ordered a cheap candle making kit off Shein, bought some soy wax, and I just found it so relaxing. And then the thing with making candles is you've got to test, test, test. Nothing works first time. Like even finding the wicks that I use, or like I think I tried 6 different wicks or something.
yeah,
And it's just like the process. And then when I sort of decided to move on to like a business side, when I'd made too many candles for me to burn in for a year. Like I had really fell in love with the design side actually, making my labels, um, even the branding, I have like black jar candles, which I did when I first started the business, I had them in like lines. I've actually removed the lines now to keep things simpler, but I've got my black jar candles, I've got my clear jar candles, and even like the wax melts. Like this is a wax melt
mm,
out of its casing. Even silly things like finding a wax melt that was a star was
yeah,
just like everything about it. I just enjoy.
mm,
Like it's hard to explain, but it's so relaxing. And like I say, you've got to test all the time, but it's also part of the fun, and it makes your house smell lovely as well.
yeah, yeah. So that going from doing it as a hobby and
Yeah,
enjoying testing out the different um what did you call them? My
Wix,
brain's
the
gone.
Wix.
The wicks.
You're fine.
My brain's just gone.
You're
Testing
fine.
out the wicks and thinking about the soy wax instead of the paraffin wax.
Yeah.
Going from that to then into sort of selling them. At what point did you think you touched upon? I've got too many candles in my
Yeah.
home. At what point did you think actually I'm gonna sell these?
It was really, I think actually it was when I was still making candles for myself, but practicing with little designs. I would say I've always had like business ideas,
Mm,
but obviously just ideas. But I feel like everything with the candles, even when it's like a silly little design or, just something different, I feel like I'm an artistic person, but I'm not a good painter. I'm not a good drawer. But actually, with the candles, I feel like everything that I've sort of imagined in my head when I've gone to do it in candle form, it's like, even if obviously, like I say, the wick and stuff's maybe not been perfect, the way I've wanted it to look has been. And I think it was from sort of that moment that I thought, well, I've got all these candles, I've got too many candles. Why not sell them when I feel like I can do a good job at it?
Right.
Is really, and it's sort of like I say, those younger sort of maybe, business ideas that I've had, mixed with actually a hobby that I enjoy. Um, so, why not?
Yeah. Because it makes me think about your creativity and that
Yeah,
being that coming up and enjoying doing it and feeling relaxed by doing that and feeling inspired by doing that. And then actually sort of going, well, it's quite experimental perhaps as well. So I was thinking,
yeah, definitely.
you'd made a comment about, well, I'm not maybe the best at drawing and painting, but
Yeah,
then this is a way of being creative.
yeah,
And
definitely.
I would say a lot of people, my position of being an art therapist, I'm often like speaking to people who say they're not very creative or
Yeah,
they're not very artistic and maybe minimizing the value of their logos and everything. However, actually, those small sketches, those silly little drawings, as you kind of
yeah, yeah,
describe
yeah,
them,
yeah,
are about like your vision and your ideas and your
yeah,
sort of creativity coming in and all of those things coming into it and you experimenting and then going, okay, I'm going to put this out there as a thing.
yeah,
So that
definitely.
feels really powerful. So this maybe brings me on to the names. So
Yeah.
like, do you have sort of an approach or how like a way that you got to came up with that name?
So, it's Uneclipse. And the whole idea was obviously an eclipse is the light being put out. So the whole idea of an eclipse is undoing the eclipse.
Mm,
And it was actually, I can't remember exactly, but it was when, um, well, it's kind of they're not a work colleague, but they are a work colleague. They come to
yeah.
my work. When they found out I was making candles, this was before I ever even had an idea of selling them. They were like, "Oh, what are you gonna call your company?" And we were coming up with names, like, jokingly, and I think I said maybe just, like, Eclipse or something, and then they were like, "Oh, no, I'm sure there's a candle company called Eclipse." I don't think there actually is. I did
I don't know.
I did search the trademark. Um, but then I said sort of, like, jokingly, like, "Oh, I don't think it was an eclipse. I said I think it was like the eclipse or something like that. But it was the same sort of idea. And then obviously when I did start thinking, um, I just I knew I wanted, like, I sort of got obsessed with the eclipse aspect, but I knew eclipse would be like it would be too generic. So then and also there's a million candle businesses out there. Like probably any name you could think of that's a normal word is going to be trademarked, or even if it's not trademarked,
Mm,
someone's going to be selling a candle under that name. So that's where Uneclipse came from, and it's just the idea of like undo eclipse, shortened Uneclipse. Letting the light shine, not letting the light be put out, which I thought was perfect for candles.
yeah. Oh, brilliant. And yeah, apologies for saying it wrong. And I think
No, you're fine.
maybe
Lots of people do that.
well, well, this is what I'm thinking that it's we're so used to certain like words that like are so
Yeah,
common and so kind of intrinsic to us that saying eclipse rather than uneclipse, and that's
yeah.
why it's so important by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's, I've had some people say like, "Oh, that's not a real word," but I'm like, but actually, I think the second you sort of explain, and like on my Etsy, for example, like on my brand story, it does explain why it's called an eclipse. Um, I feel like the second I explain it, people go, Oh, okay. No, I get it now. Like undoing the eclipse,
Mm,
especially when you say like letting the light shine. And like I say, part of the reason is for, for a boring reason. It is because any names you could probably think of that's just a normal word is going to be somebody's already using. And I knew I wanted something to do with the moon, because I actually designed my logo before I designed the name. I
yeah.
knew I wanted something to do with sort of space and stars, but I also didn't want my whole brand to be like, oh, my candles must be looking like stars. You're not getting martini glasses in space. So
No,
I
not yet.
knew that yeah, not yet anyway. Yeah, so I definitely knew that I wanted something to do with sort of stars and space relating to candles, but also not something that's like my candles must all be named after, a star or something. I just knew I wanted the idea of basically the sun in the sky and the moon.
Yeah, brilliant. And you do have your like little star wax melts. So I think
Yep,
that
yeah,
those
exactly. That's
touches,
my little touch.
that's wonderful. So I feel like now is a good time to sort of really think about the candles. And I've been waiting very patiently to light the
Like
candle.
yours.
So this one's a grapefruit candle,
Yep.
and I do. Where's my little? I have to. I don't think the thing's on. Nothing
Have the
on.
safety off.
Oh, the safety's off. What am I doing with candles? Like, right, everyone just go to sleep for 5 minutes while we do this. Um,
You're seeing the role behind the scenes
oh yeah, behind
actions
the
here.
scenes. There we go. So the grapefruit, and then this glass. Can you talk me through the idea around having a martini glass as a candle?
So it was actually, like I say, it was one of the first original um candles I'd seen, I think was in a martini glass like this. This was what I'd seen on TikTok, was a glass like this. And I just was like, that's so clever. And then again, I feel like I'm giving boring responses, but
No, no, this is
when I was looking
sometimes you,
for,
yeah.
yeah, like when I was looking for glasses to put my candles in, and especially at the time, obviously, originally, it was just to make for myself. A martini glass for like £5. And obviously, because no glass is made for burning a candle, so you need to make sure that the glasses that you are getting are heat proof.
Mm,
Um, so when I was looking at the prices for, like one glass, like £10, and yes, I can reuse it, but I just thought that's crazy. But in my local area, we have like it's called like the community reuse shop, and it's just like a big warehouse with secondhand. It's a charity shop, but it's run by the local council, and it's a charity shop, and I'm always in there once a week seeing what glasses they've having. And I found, actually, I have a room over there, and it's full of like glasses that I think would be great. But I saw it was just one glass like that, and I was like, oh, I think a candle would look really good in that.
yeah.
And then I made one, and then my partner actually works quite near it, so I had them in there like every day, like, tell me if there's more, tell me if there's more. And there was. And a big thing with soy wax, and actually sort of not really planned, but my like brand has become very sort of concentrating on things that are better for you, better for the environment as well. Like soy waxes
Yeah.
obviously comes from soy, so it's renewable, unlike your normal candles, which are paraffin, which is actually comes from petrol.
Mm,
Um, and I just thought, when I got these glasses from there and then started getting other glasses for there, I just thought that's like such a great thing, like towards the brand as well, that even the glasses are, they're reused. And actually, even when you finish burning your candle, you can take the two wicks off. Soy wax is water soluble, so you can wash it out with water, with hot water, and you have a martini glass that you can use for yourself as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So
fantastic. Yeah,
it's
I was
just
gonna ask
something
about that.
that, yeah, it's just something that sort of, like I say, it came from seeing a normal martini glass to then just looking out for glasses. And I knew when I poured my first candle in there, and obviously I had the dye and then I put the white wax on top, that's probably was the first candle that I was like, wow, that looks good.
Yeah.
And I just knew, and I am obviously right now on my Etsy, I still only have the martini glasses. Obviously, because I now have decided to turn it into a brand, one of the biggest things is safety. So, when I'm experimenting myself, I have made other martini candle, well, like different glass candles for myself, but it's very much testing for the Uneclipse side of it.
Yeah.
So I am planning on getting more candles in different glasses, but obviously for health and safety, it's just a lot of testing. Because I would hate if you were sitting there right now and that glass shattered. That would
Mm,
be awful. So I've burnt probably 6 or 7 in just the your glass alone to make sure that it's safe. Um, so it's obviously that is the one thing with sort of going from hobby to business is, it's you still get the fun of experimenting, but before people can actually see it, it's like I actually have a candle burning there and you can't really see it very clearly, but it's actually a blue wax with white dots that look like clouds.
oh.
And like I was so happy with that idea. And actually that was one of the first candles I made as well.
Mm.
But I've been burning it the last few days, and actually all the white wax stays on the sides. So it looks brilliant. I'm happy with it for myself, but to sell, it's no good.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
just, it's that balancing act with now having it as a business.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're just being really thorough with all of these
Yeah,
things.
yeah, definitely.
And the difference, like, I've never really made products where I've made multiple of the same because
Yeah, no.
like when I sell art, it tends to be sort of individual pieces and
Yeah,
some of my
I know,
friends.
unique. Yeah,
It's so actually I'm doing the experimentation stuff, but not yeah, it's totally different to think
yeah,
about health and safety and think like
yeah.
how
That
much
is the one
down
thing
to
with the
that.
candles.
Yeah,
It's as much as it's fun, you know, um, even after testing them all the time, like I still have that doubt in my mind sometimes where I'm like, especially when I've given like my friends and family candles, I'm like messaging them like every day, like, how did it burn? Is it going good? You do have that sort of extra stress of, you know, yeah, it's a candle. And obviously there are basic regulations like um really you should never leave a burning candle unattended and stuff. That is
yeah,
what is stated. You should never really leave a candle burning for longer than 4 hours. Um, but obviously people don't always follow the rules,
yeah.
and it's easy to sort of be like, oh, this is a fun hobby or whatever. But if you phoned me tomorrow saying my whole house is burnt down, it's not going to be very funny.
No,
So as much as it is fun, there is a serious side to it. And that's why like on my Instagram, one of the big things is obviously I have a posting strategy, and every Wednesday I give a tip
right.
of sort of um I call it Wisdom Wednesday, and I give sort of a tip about burning candles because actually a lot of this stuff I didn't know before I started making them. But actually there's a lot of stuff that for the best experience you want to follow these rules, and for your safety that you want to follow the rules.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's really useful. One thing that I'd kind of learned with candles, and then this may be different depending on the wax, is
yeah,
that say if I've lit a candle just for a short time. that's how like the edges have
Yep.
stayed up.
Yep.
Whereas lighting it for longer balances
Yep.
that out. So
It's the same, yeah, with soy wax. You should achieve a full melt pool before you blow a candle
mm,
out, and that's what I'd always say if someone buys a candle, especially obviously if it's someone I know, like make sure you're lighting that candle when you know that you're not leaving the house,
yeah,
so
this
you
was
can let
oh, this one's, hang on, I might need to just light this again. This was the
it.
reason why I've not got anywhere I need to go after
Yeah, you
speaking
know
with you.
you're safe.
I could just light this and have just sit and relax with it.
Relax.
But,
Nice.
when it comes to sort of the fragrances and like your thinking around that, do you have particular kind of strategy about fragrances, or are there fragrances that you like better than others, or um
There's definitely, I would say in my head, I sort of have, I love this fragrance,
yeah,
and then I have, I think other people will like this fragrance.
yeah.
Especially with my Christmas scents. So I just announced my 4 Christmas scents, and this one, Berry Breeze, I really love. Um, Actually, have one called Cinnamon Cocktail. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. I love that one as well. And then I have one which is Festive Forest, which I have here.
Oh, yeah,
This one, it smells nice, but to me, like it's a forest pine scent. It just smells like a tree to me.
yeah.
Probably not a very good advertisement. But actually, I did my first market the other week, and this was probably my second bestseller. People loved
Mm,
it, and I knew people would love it. I also have another one called Frosty Florals. Had to remember the scent then.
yeah,
And it's a nice scent. It's not one that I would gravitate to, but I know a lot of people who like obviously the scents that I buy have a different name. I rebrand them as I make them.
yeah,
Um, so I knew this scent is a good seller. Um, so it's a nice scent. Like I would say I never have a scent that I don't like
yeah.
because I couldn't. Actually, my partner got me like some scents to make for his sister, and one of them had to be removed from the house. The scent, oh, it was
Oh dear.
awful. I just could not deal with the smell. So I would say there's no sense that I'm like, oh, that stinks. But yeah, I do have scents that I prefer. Um, Actually, in my black jars, my favorite scent is probably grapefruit glaze, actually, which is
Mm,
obviously also available in the martini glass. And then in the clear jars, coconut cove. And then even though all my scents are available in candles and wax melts, I do feel like some of them smell better in candle form and some of them smell better in wax melt form.
mm,
And one I have, which is called Eclipse Ends, and I would actually say that's Uneclipse's scent. That was sort of, it was one of the first scents I got, and when I smelt it, I was like, I want all my scents for me to feel that way, to have
mm,
that quality, and that one in wax melt form is divine. I've never smelt a scent like it before, but it's by far my
mm.
favorite scent, and it really actually made me sort of change my mind on what scents I picked after that, because I thought this scent has actually, I think I had maybe 4 initial like startup scents, and I actually got rid of 3 of them
Yeah,
because I knew how much I wanted that one.
yeah.
So
It's oh. So what were so then what you said about the feeling that you get from that? How would you describe
yeah,
the feeling?
um I would just say I sort of knew it was right. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know when you just think, I want that.
Mm,
And actually it's a scent that I sort of encourage everybody when they are, you know, asking about like candles, like smell that one. smell that one. Like, and actually, like Coconut Cove, which I have in the clear jar, that's an absolutely beautiful scent as well. And actually, where I get my fragrances from is quite expensive, but because of like the scents I have got from them, I won't even try another company. They are more expensive, but they're good quality, so they're better for you. And actually, even just ignoring customers, one of the big things with paraffin wax is, I don't know if you can see there, but there's my little cauldron that I burn the wax
Oh
in.
yeah.
I thought, do I want to be standing over something full of toxic chemicals? And it's the
Mm.
same with the fragrances as well. So I would say it's hard to explain, but you just know when you know, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Got that warm feeling and
yeah, you just know it's right.
yeah.
And there's lots of scents that I have bought and I've gone, no. So
Yeah.
again, it's experimenting, it's sort of you're getting all forms, you're testing with your nose, you're testing with your eyes, Um, but yeah.
Yeah. This is brilliant. So I just want to share back with you like a personal story about candles because when I was
Mm-hmm.
about 14, I got scarlatina, which is about a bit like scarlet fever. And
Oh,
I
okay.
was really poorly over the holidays and it was this Christmas holiday and somebody had got me a candle making kit at Christmas and I was poorly literally the whole of the holiday.
Oh.
And as we one of the activities, my mum said to me, "Why don't we do the candle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I've got energy to do the candle." And I ended up just walking into the kitchen once. My head was just pounding, and then I just lied down and I left my mum to make these candles or to pick up the pieces. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if we made candles or if we just put it all away.
Everyone was put
But
away.
it just shows how I was unwell anyway, but just the intensity of the smell and the toxins and everything,
Yeah,
how
it would
how
just finish
relevant
you
that
off.
is.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much we tolerate with sort of toxic stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
And
definitely.
and I imagine you like doing all the melting would make so much difference if you were working with something
Yeah,
that wasn't good for you.
it was definitely one of my thoughts was, you know, do and it's not because, I'm a snob. Paraffin wax is used because it's cheaper. Like the soy wax I use is expensive. And that's
Yeah.
obviously, it affects prices of my candles, especially wax melts. You
Mm,
can look online and you can get wax melts probably bigger than this for £1.
mm,
This costs me about £1.50 before fragrance. Um, but it is for your health. I'm a big dog lover. Sadly, I actually just lost my
oh,
dog a couple of months ago.
oh, I'm
But
sorry.
like she was like the love of my life. And even the thought of, learning that these are actually also much better for your pets. Obviously, don't let your pets near a burning candle.
No.
But they are pet friendly fume wise. And that again, that was just another big difference, and like I say, soy wax isn't perfect. Again, there's a lot of experimenting. I've noticed it with your candle and with my candle as well. It's not very good at holding dye. So I
Mm,
do need to look at um there are certain additives that can still be uh you know pet friendly and all that. So that's still another thing I need to experiment with to keep that dye lasting longer. You can actually see it. I deliberately picked this candle. I don't know how well you can see it. Soy wax
yeah.
frosts a little bit, so you can get
Yeah.
it's you sort of see it looks like it's not connected to the glass. So
Mm,
soy wax isn't perfect, but it burns longer as well, so it lasts longer. It's better for your house. It doesn't put soot everywhere. It's better for you, it's better for your pets, and it's better for the planet. So for me, soy wax, it's not really up for debate, really.
no. Yeah. it makes so much sense.
And actually,
And
I learned that burning paraffin candles is literally like burning a scented can of petrol in your house.
wow.
So I actually laughed. Like, my partner, somebody gave him a candle the other day, and it was paraffin. I was like, no, get it out of the
Yeah.
house. I
I think I might have to go around my house and have a
was gonna say I'm
check
gonna be
of all the
scaring
candles.
everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. It does make me kind of think
And
about
again,
like,
like I've burnt paraffin candles all my life, but because it is cheaper, and
mm,
obviously, especially in the world we live in today, who doesn't want cheaper? But no, for me, once learning what was in paraffin wax compared to soy wax, it was just a case of the decisions made easy.
yeah. Yeah.
So
So just thinking about, kind of your business and how people might be able to view your products and everything. Like
yeah.
where would people find you?
So social media wise, I'm most active on my Instagram, which is just Uneclipse Candles still. I do have a Facebook, but that's just my posts from Instagram also go on Facebook. So I don't really use Facebook. And then I sell on Etsy. And again, Uneclipse Candles. Uh, nice and simple. So Etsy and Instagram are the best places. My Instagram is also, you can find my Instagram through my Etsy, or you can find my Etsy through my Instagram as well. So
Yeah,
they're all
it's
nice and easy.
handy, isn't it? And we can put those links underneath the description
Yeah,
for
perfect. Thank
this
you.
as well. So my guess is that people might want to reach out to you, ask you any other questions, then
Yeah, no, that's great.
that's there.
I'm welcome to questions.
Yeah, that's
So,
brilliant. So do you have any sort of final words of sort of inspirational wisdom to share with anybody? To
I would say like the one thing is, and we were discussing this earlier, if you are watching this and you're at home thinking, oh, like I want to be artistic, but I'm not good at art. Like, I definitely have learned with the candle making, as I said, that, and I really strongly believe this now, that there probably is an outlet for everyone somewhere. It's not necessarily candle making, it's not necessarily drawing, but it's maybe doing art on the computer, it's maybe filming a video, it's maybe pottery making or something. I would say if you see something and you think that looks interesting, give it a go, and it might be your new art form
yeah,
or a business.
yeah, absolutely. And for you, it's gone into a business, but that might not
Yeah,
always be the case. You
yeah,
might just do
definitely.
something for
Aye,
fun.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So thank you
So,
so much for coming on and chatting to me about your
no, that's
candles and
great. Thank you for
all of
having me.
all of that inspiration. And thank you everyone for listening. Um, if you've got any questions, let us know. And if you are looking to sort of buy some candles, reach out to Charlie, and I'm sure he'll be able to point you in the right direction if there's because my sense is that there'll be certain things that you're drawn to and certain things that might suit a certain time or a certain kind of preference.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, doke. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.